Hi, this is Cynthia Horner from Right On Digital, and I'm here with Theresa Merritt-Watson. And today we are going to talk about her recent book, which is called Black Tech Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow Leaders in Technology. And this book is something that I'm really interested in because it's for a younger audience. So, Ms. Watson, can you first talk about why you wanted to have your book for the through third grade readers, even though, of
Well,
course, it's applicable to everyone?
well, I first started out doing the book at the higher grade, like fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. But what it dawned on me is that if you really want to have a profound impact on kids' education, you start at the very beginning. And so, and my focus is the African American kids, although I think that everyone should learn and know the contribution that African Americans have made in the development of this country. But if kids in general go to school, they know their Black history. They know the things that we've done. They know how we participated in building this country as we know it today. Then it will give them a sense of pride, a sense of honor. So right now, a lot of the kids, they've heard of Martin Luther King, they've heard of Jesse Jackson, people of such, and you can't take anything away from what they've done. But the fact of the matter is, there's a vast um, amount of people, Black people, that have done some marvelous things outside of those two people. So I thought if African American children started off the school with this information, it can have a profound impact on how they view education. And education would be back what it was used to be is truly education that created critical thinking, embrace your passions and your interests in young kids, and nurture them. And so that's why I went back from the upper grades to the lower grade, because I wanted the kids to start. And I also wanted the parents to engage. So a lot of time parents are very busy now. And so if it's a small amount of writing and you can grasp the material, the student, when they get in eighth grade and they have to do a research paper, they have somebody in their portfolio that they can reach out and say, I want to learn more about Alexandra Miles. I want to learn more about Miriam Van Britten Brown. And so I want to learn more about the security system. How did she do that? And so these are things that we have created that people just do not think about. I did a lesson at a school, a book reading in school, and the first thing that one of the kids asked me, well, I thought Alexander Graham Bell created the light. And so I had to go in and let him know that there's components to the light, but the light wouldn't stay on. And so Latimer created the filament as we know it today. That's the light that we have today, the one with the filament in it, and it stays on, which we have all over the world. So they too, everyone else needs to know some of the great things that we have done as well. So that's why the young age, and I thought it was easier reading for the parents to be able to convey and make sure that their kids, the African American kids, do not go to school not knowing that some of their history.
Oh, this is so wonderful. Now, tell me, what kind of reaction have you gotten from people that have had the opportunity to get a hold of the book?
Well, I've gotten positive feedback. I wish more people would actually respond to things that they tell me on Amazon, but I've not had anything negative feedback to come directly to me. We're only going to talk about the positive because the other one was, I should have listed other ethnic groups that have done great things as well, but that's not my mission. Um, that's the only negative feedback I've gotten, but the positive feedback has been overwhelming. I've had people to call and ask me, is this the same person that they went to school with, or I just want to make sure it's you, or but you could look at my picture and see I still take on that resemblance because, you know, so I've gotten nothing but positive feedback, even from teachers and students and parents from different organizations that have used the book. So I can't, but no one knew everybody that was listed in the book. Um, So, and I've done all Black audience, all white. I've done women that have been in prison system, that getting ready to be released. So I've done quite a few, and they've enjoyed learning it.
Oh, that's great. Now, let's talk about some of the actual content that's in the book. Um, let's just talk about a couple of key points so that people who do not already have access to the book will know what's in it.
Yes. Well, I will show, this is the book. It's
Uh-huh.
called Black Tech. And um, one of the first thing I want to do is to just talk about, people always ask me, a lot of people ask me about why I have a boy riding on the eagle, which is so unrealistic, but as they see it is a cartoon character. Um, and so I wanted to make sure that people know that there's certain elements of animals that we possess or have. And so I use the eagle because the eagle on this cover is symbolized loyalty, devotion. These are traits of an eagle: freedom, trust, honor, divine hope, foresight, and spiritual awareness. The eagle has the same traits that we need for critical thinking and creativity. And so I put that in there because I remember reading where Martin Luther King says that one of the things we should never lose is our creativity. And the way we are going today, education is more of an indoctrination opposed to education. And when you do indoctrination, you do lose your creativity because you adopt other people's ways. And it's sort of hard for you to think about what is the next as it relates to the creativity. And so if you see the young man on the eagle, one of the things, the little boy on the eagle, one of the things you would notice about an eagle, you never see an eagle strapping or fighting or doing that because, they don't, it's just not, a lot of the time they would not win if that was their, in a fighting war. So what they do is they fly to such a high altitude that it's hard for a person to breathe, but the eagle can breathe up there. So they end up actually dropping them because their altitude is so high. And that's the way life struggle is you can't give up because you're losing at this time. You have to keep going. And so that's the message I wanted to send through the eagle. And so, because it does, when they say the eagle soar, it's just not them soaring, because other birds soar as well, but they have a method to the reason why they are soaring. Um, so I give you a few. One of the people that I'm intrigued by is Alice Parker. And the reason why I'm intrigued by Alice Parker went to Howard University. She has the patent for the natural gas furnace. And I have written, this is my first to third grade. And if you see, it looks like she's in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
city there was. And it says, when I visit my aunt in Chicago during the winter holidays, it's windy and cold outside. However, my aunt's house is always warm and cozy because of Alice Parker invention. Now, this is something that a student can read. It's easy reading. And then you go to the next page, and I give you some facts about Alice Parker. She invented this furnace, patented this furnace in 1919. So you see that we're still doing things, even during the hard time. And people in Jersey, she died at 25. It's not a lot of information to why
Oh.
she died, but a lot of records that I found for Black people don't really give you a reason why they died, because things were happening back then. And she
Mm-hmm.
graduated from Hampton, I mean, not from Hampton, from Howard University. And
Oh.
and and she created this. So that means to me that she was thinking about about this engineering process, mechanical process, when she was younger, and someone had to nurture what she was doing. And this is what we're missing with our children, as it relates to nurturing their interests or their passion. And so that's one of the things that and Kenneth Duncan, he created he created the 3D glasses. He's actually still living. He's in his 80s, living in New York. And when you think about Valerie Thompson, it's just amazing because she did the 3D illusion, and everyone that I know greatly appreciate the movie in that the illusions, particularly when you're looking at different cartoons. This is one of my favorite because I remember episodes of things that happen in various townships in the United States when we used to have a person, the youth opened the elevator door,
Mm-hmm.
and there was usually it was a lady, it could be a man, but usually it was a woman, and usually a lot of times they were white. And if the African American male, touched her when the elevator jumped, because the elevator, when she's stopping it, it could be a life, it could be a death sentence for them. And so I appreciate Alexandra Miles' creativity because he created the elevator was already designed, but you had to have other people help it do its mechanics. And so with him, he created elevator door opener, which we use to this day. You push a button if you want to go to a floor, you want to call the elevator. That's what Alexandra Miles created. And so when you see it, you just, you're thinking about him, and the writing is very useful because he, you know, when you're talking about third graders, you can read it, and it's written in first person. When I go to work with my dad, I get excited to ride all the way to the 10th floor. One thing, that his father works on the 10th floor. That's what you're going to you're going to assume. I press all the buttons just to see the elevator door open. We no longer need a person to open the elevator door for us, thanks to Alexander Miles' invention. We get to my dad's office easily. Now, one of the things I want you to take from there is on the other side, it lists that he invented the automatic door opening. And so also in this, that he was a self-taught engineer, mechanical engineer. It lists that he was from Ohio. And what I wanted our kids to see is that you don't necessarily have to go to college to be successful. And successful, and we'll talk about the word success a little bit because people sometimes associate success and money as being one entity, and it's not necessarily one entity. But he's a self-taught. When we have a lot of kids that feel like if you didn't go to college, you can't do anything, and that's absolutely not true. Right now, every place in the world that has an elevator is using Alexander Miles' invention. Everywhere in the world that have gas furnace, they're using Alice Parker invention. So we go and we have a lot of things that other people use, but we don't know that we invented it. And so
Wow.
what I'm hoping that my sessions will do is strengthen our ability to feel comfortable about ourselves and not be guided by the things that people deem that we need to be guided by. And we're talking on Zoom right now, and Marion Crowe, she did voice over IP, which is the communicating over the internet. It's what we're doing right now. Now, Marion, you just don't think about a Black person actually creating that. And I know that one of the things that I know that every place in the world, I was in France, and I think about these people when I turn the light on. I think about Louis Latimer. When I'm in, if I'm in Germany, wherever I am, I think about these different people that have created things that are African American that no one really think about us. And I want our kids to put enough in their spirit, their parents have put in their spirit, to see the great things that we have done. We had a profound impact. We have had profound impact on wars. I know World War I is one of our learning lessons, because if you didn't have cotton then, you would not have the financial security that you needed to win the war. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that we could do, we can take as Black people and learn. Now I will read, this is one of my favorite because you don't have to really people say, oh, I don't have money to do this or do that, but you can walk through the world and learn about Black history. When I'm traveling to my school, Garrett Morgan Invention helps us to get there safely. It tells us when to slow down, when to stop, and when to go. And he invented the traffic light. And
Wow.
yeah, and so and he almost lived to 100, but he's a self-taught engineer. And that, you see how profound the traffic light is for us today. And even though we're trying to get the British, I call it the British roundabouts, so those are things. And when you look at Garrett Morgan, it sort of favors him as well. And so when you roll up on a traffic light, you can think about Garrett Morgan.
I certainly
See,
will. My
yeah,
goodness.
and see, this is Gladys West. And when Gladys, you think of when you get in your car or you're looking to go a place and you pull up that GPS, I want you to think, my parents and I travel a lot of new places. We never get lost, thanks to Gladys West's invention. Now, Gladys West, she went to Virginia State, which is a HBCU, a historically Black college and university. I continue to highlight them because our HBCUs do not get the support of grants and like the other PWIs do. So we have to continue to support. We got 102 HBCUs, and if every one of us in the world, in the country, in this country, would take $5 and send it to your selected HBCU, it would make a tremendous difference in how they do it. $5 doesn't seem to be much, but if everybody did, it would be huge. So these are some of the people that are in the book. And I think that when you go and you want to do something, you can always find somebody in your Black catalog, if you will, and that you will learn that they have done it too. And if you dig deep enough, you see how they got started, because some people had to work with their father. Their father taught them how to do various things. They worked with their mother. They were always doing something in the house, or they were playing outside. So they have a children background of engaging. And so that's something that we can learn how to do as children.
Wow, you are so fascinating. What is it that made you decide on the particular individuals that you featured? I mean, they're all great, but there had to be something that resonated within you so that you could say, okay, I want to write about this person because of the traffic light. I want to do this person because of the GPS. So, how did you vet who you included?
Well, the process was actually very tedious because I had a list, but my goal of the Black Tech, needed the students to be able to identify with the invention. That's what I needed this student to do. And so the cell phone with Jesse Russell, the GPS, the elevator, when they go to school, the security system, um, and the 3D glasses we get when we go to the movies and things like that. Every item in the book the student can relate to. But I left out people like Mark Dean, which is one of the people that almost made me change from having 7 men and 7 women to having 8. But he's in my STEM book. The next book is STEM. And so, because he created the color monitor. And back when computers first came out, the monitors were black and white. Um, but he created the color monitor. And so, but the answer to the question is pretty much it has to be something that students could relate to right now.
Okay.
And so I just had to do a process of elimination because I still had about 50 people I could have used. So,
Wow, this is so great. Well, we look forward to helping promote this book. I know that it can be purchased through Amazon, but are there any other retailers that you would like to mention at this time, or else your website?
well, you can go pick it up at the bookstore, and I would love for the listening audience to call their library and ask the library to get it into their library, their local library, to give it our African American kids an option to be able to use the book, to be able to check the book out, because everybody can't purchase it. That's why I have a couple of systems that I use to for people to be able to contribute to getting someone else a book. Like some people will purchase one of my book for themselves and then purchase a book, donate a book to a child in that community. And they don't usually pick the child. They just say, okay, well, I'm getting 5 books for urban people in Philadelphia. And so, and then you can get it from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and you can get it from us. You can go to synergynetworkllc.com and you can purchase the book. Or you can go if you want to purchase a book and make a donation. A donation meaning having a kid purchase one for a student or several for for a community. You can go to synergytrainingsolution.org and purchase a book. Those are the techniques that I use to make sure I cover all the bases to make sure people can participate. I've also asked corporations to purchase books and so I can donate them to the students, particularly during the summer months when they have downtime.
Okay. Well, we look forward to trying to help you with your endeavor. I think this is a wonderful book and you are a wonderful person. And I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with Right On Digital, which is the companion to the iconic Right On magazine that has been around for many years.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we will be reconnecting with you very soon.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
Okay. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Bye bye.